Hey guys, we're back here with that old timer legend. Now let's see what we got to do now. You got it and good luck. Dope, we're splitting up on the both full of bad guys. Yeah, let's I guess that one's good. I hate splitting up. Things always happen when you split up in Scooby-Doo, so yeah. No, we're not splitting up on a boat full of bad guys. He looked at me for a long moment, then said, "Very well, but if I can tell you to go on without me and find the children, you will do that for me." Yes. I nodded and then indicated we should start moving forward towards the front area. There were 5 guys up there chatting away. I was starting to sneak behind the crate, but Richard just walked up and said, "Good evening, gentlemen. Could you tell me where I might find Nicholas?" Who the hell wants to know? You may call me Richard. Get a load of this guy. Fellows, let me tell you something, pal. You just bought yourself a whole world of mouthy guy hit the deck as the wrench I'd found beamed him square in the jaw. Not bad balance for a big metal tool. I jumped over the crate and laid into the closest guy as Richard began weaving, shucking, and kicking, not unlike some Chinese guys I once got into a brawl with. I guess you learn a lot when you've wandered the world for a few centuries. A knee to the midsection, a couple of solid punches to the face took my dance partner to the ground. I looked up in time to see Richard's sidekick, the last guy over the side, into the drink below. The other 2 were laid out, still breathing, but definitely down for the count. Is it my hope, Jinkies, that we will kill no one? We do not have to. Most of these people are likely under Nicholas' supernatural sway. He's repeated, I have always had some kind of means of unnaturally influencing people. Great, so I gotta play patty cakes with people who are gonna be trying to rip my lungs out. This nut just keeps getting better and better. Really shouldn't have said that. I was really asking for it with their wise crack like that. The main door to the interior busted open and weighed all solid giant. He was like 6'10" at least, maybe more, and he was carrying around a hammer that looked like 4 guys my size would have had a team up on to carry, much less swing. The dude looks like a zombie, man. He was trying to speak in some Slavic tongue, maybe Russian, and Richard was talking back to him in the same language. Oh, and he was dead. Well, obviously not dead completely, but he sure didn't look like he should be living. Gaping holes in his face and arms with bones and rotted meat showing through. I've seen a few walking dead before. I kind of knew my business in this case. The only thing was he was moving and talking like a normal person. Fluid and dangerous instead of shambling, and still dangerous, but not in the graceful predator kind of way. But he and Richard started circling each other, and he swung that maul and knocked out part of a cane like he just wanted to prove a point, which is, as far as I was concerned, he had. Richard, Harvey, you call it, I asked if you were before? Okay. Yeah, but this guy, he is my concern. I can handle him. He must find the children and see to their safety, you assured me. I hesitated another minute. I could have yanked the Colt out and taken a shot at 3 at the rate the 2 were closing in on each other. My shot would and be all that clear soon. Besides, even though he had a Tesla out there was still a chance no one else below anything knew what was going on. Gunshots would change out in a hurry. Alright, but try not to play around with this guy too much longer. Okay, get bored easy. He spared me a quick grin at that. Suddenly slipped in and took a slash at that Russian giant, slicing off a piece of leg. I had decent hopes that he might actually survive at least long enough to come downstairs and get killed with me. As I slipped through the door the giant had come out of, I caught a quick glimpse of the harbor. I didn't notice the lights of a boat headed our way. I only had one real run-in on the way down. A pistol in the nostril took the fight out of the guy pretty fast, and he quietly let me tie him up in a closet with a gag in his mouth. I hoped I remembered to let him out when it was over. I hoped I had remembered to let him out when it was over before I made him get all quiet. I kept telling me the best way to get into the part of the fighters told what the kids were being held. According to him, they were all under some kind of mass hypnosis, though they were locked into a hold. None of them seemed to mind very much. They kept asking about when the crusade would begin, saying they were anxious to claim the new world in the name of the Lord under St. Nicholas. Creepy to say the least. I found myself in the hallway where the door to the kids' quarters was, and sure enough, there were the 3 people in robes. 2 sizable men wore brown robes in a friar or monk in a monastery, complete with ropes for belts. One had a pole of some kind, maybe a quarterstaff. The other actually had a short sword strapped at his side. The third figure was a woman. Her robes were red, diaphanous, and left not much to imagination. She was apparently enjoying her Lorraine's attention, though not too much. She had some kind of odd stick in her hand with a tiny skull on the end. I did not like the looks of where this was headed. I also did not like how there seemed to be no way around the 3 of them without a fight. Run the bluff. Maybe not everyone dies. Richard and I had agreed to try to avoid killing him while we didn't have to. He was afraid most of the folks under Nicholas were either unwillingly or somehow under his sway. The legends told him of having a power to influence people even as a kid. How else do you get thousands of people to follow you across one of the most dangerous stretches of land in Europe when you're nothing but the son of a shepherd? I was going to go out on lamb and guess the woman was probably on her own time, perhaps even responsible for a lot of what was going on. She just had that cultist with a magic stick kill people for power look about her, calling biased. The two thugs be, well, I'll be in patsies. That's whatever I did. I was going to need at least try and give him a chance to come out that's still breathing. I figured I'd go with old Plan D. Freeze, don't move. I'm Detective Donovan, New Orleans PD. My men are on their way down. I'll drop your weapons to get your hands in the air. In one hand, my private credentials, which had a shield that might fool anyone not from around the end. The other, the cold peacemaker. Not very convincing as a cop's piece, but it had the advantage of being pointed right at them, means they didn't buy the ruse. There was that word again. I had to stop myself from laughing as it hit me. Serious police detectives don't laugh to themselves as they are pretending dozens of flatfoots are on their way to down the back. Blah blah blah. Or flatfoots are on their way down for backup. The two guys actually bought it. The one with the stick dropped it, and the other started unbuckling the sword awkwardly from his rope belt. The woman, however, laughed at me as she did. Both guys froze, clearly not sure what to do. You think I don't see what you really are, Marked One? I don't know which demon claimed you or Noir. You unbound yourself, but we can that. Blam. You can only go through once to go threats to your life so many times before you figure out how to start shooting before the crazy stop talking. She'd been about to lower the skull right at me as she wrapped up, so I pulled the trigger. Honestly, she thought she had some kind of magical ward against regular bullets, mostly from looking at me displeased, shocked as she slumped to the floor, blood flowing from her chest. Sword guy changed his tune from sweet surrender to kill that guy in a hurry as he charged me. I got all stupid, tried to shoot the sword out of his hand like I was really worried about disappointing Richard or something. Initially, I missed it, and I had time for a third shot before he was on me. Thankfully, he was all bluster and moving pictures with his sword playing no training at all. Not like I had any either, but I knew enough about combat to know he didn't know much of anything about it. Meanwhile, staff guy picked up Hulk of his paw and was maneuvering for me and opening the whack at me. That's when I got clever. I shifted to the left, causing sword guy to shift with me, which left staff guy the opening he was hoping for as he went for the baseball bat swing. I raised my gun on his face. I didn't really have a good shot, but I didn't need one. All I needed was for him to flinch at the right moment. Crack. Down went the sword guy as he spanked himself right in the temple. Staff guy was so mortified he barely saw the pistol, but before it smacked him right between the eyes and let him out too. I checked them both and their pulses were still good. Then I checked the witch lady because you never ever assume that they have done checking. She wasn't. She at least wasn't getting back up anytime soon. Now without some major repair on that mess that was once her heart. Still, I didn't like taking chances, so I kicked that rod thing at first far away from her. Then yanked a couple of necklaces off of her from around her neck just to make myself feel better. Hanging them around Mama Bonnie's Tommy more than a couple things. Thinking of her at the moment caused me the finger that amulet hung around my neck. Let me reread that. Okay. Thinking of her at that moment caused me the finger of the amulet hung around my own neck, tucked down under my shirt. Yeah, I decided keeping that little charm from the gospel match was probably a good idea. Short guy had some keys on them, so I grabbed those up and went for the door they were guarding. I opened it up, and there they were, dozens of kids ringing from toddlers to mid-teens, all crowded near the back of their room. The older ones were clearly trying to care for and protect the younger ones. They had eating utensils and chairs in their hands mostly, and it was clear the room had been set up like some kind of open space dormitory with pallets and bunks along the sides of tables and chairs in the middle. Someone had even engineered a bathroom up to one corner, running the interior pipes necessary for toilets and showers. As I moved inside the hold, I noticed there was a room for 10 times as many people in here as there were current occupants. You see it, yes, it is but the beginning and main front. How I kept letting people walk up behind me like that, I don't know. It only happens when I'm dealing with ancient horrors and supernatural weirdos. True, but that happens to me a lot more than I like these days. He was on a small side, lean and weary. He was wearing black armor, very goth-looking from what I knew, with a pretty wicked-looking sword he had wielding with both hands. He had two guys with him, one to either side. Both were beefier, wearing armor that was quite as oppressive, and also armed, one with a sword and shield, and the other with a great big axe. I was really starting to feel like I wandered into a Grimm's fairy tale now. Not the nice, clean-up kind for kids, mind you, the old, bloody, really scary stuff they actually wrote. The two bigger guys split up, and the one talking to one to each side, clearly aiming to flank me. He just stood there in a doorway, smiling with a mouthful of surprisingly decent teeth, considering when he apparently came from. Meanwhile, I could hear a lot of kids whispering Nicholas and saying Nicholas and he will protect us. I was pretty sure they weren't referring to me as the one doing the protecting. Funny thing is, I was starting to understand why. Let's start no hesitating this time. I'm often identified as having what you might call problems with authority. Somebody just pushed me, I pushed back. They tried to tug me in a particular direction, then I wanted to go the other way. The way I wanted to go this time was out the door. He was in front of us, so I opened fire. Unfortunately, stood about his presence threw me. It was like that my arm didn't exactly want to shoot him, so my aim was nowhere near where it should have been. Plus, turns out he was pretty fast. Both legs combined into a graze across his shoulder. Apparently, even that was enough to really get his ire up. What's this stash? The gun. Get that gun from him now. So they got the call really unnerved him, which made me even gladder Richard lent it to me. Still, I only had a number of bolt shots. And all three guys I was up against were pretty possibly fast. Alex got me for the door to cut off an inch of me escaping while the other guy was charging at me from my left. I turned to try and line up a shot on him, and that's when Nicholas suddenly moved even faster than I thought possible. Next I knew, he was on top of me, my gun pinned to the floor. He was staring at my chest. What have we here? I had a trinket, perhaps that protects you from my glamour. He was strong, way stronger than he looked. He was also grotesquely ugly, somehow this close. Whatever it was that made the kid see such an angelic face was gone, and now I was looking at the face of a corpse that I know blew his business, looking that angry and mobile. A quick glance at the other guys revealed that they too were basically the Walking Dead of some kind. Keeping that amulet was a good idea. It meant I was going to see just how horrible these guys were that were going to kill me. Blam! For once, the noise didn't come from me. Black ooze things I didn't want to think about spilled out into me as Nicholas and the walking corpse slumped and became literal dead weight on me. I shoved them off and stood up, still a bit shaky from the apparent battle on my head. I didn't have much time to recover, though, as the guy with the sword in his shoulder was charging me. Axeman was running at Richard, the source of the shot. Naturally, he was holstering the pistol and squaring off for a nice melee. Idiot. Somehow I let go of the pistol I had, so I scooted out of the way fast as my guy. So I scooted out the way fast as my guy charged right into the space I was in. He skiddled to stop, fortunately not at all, accustomed to the floor in any air. I edged my way towards the big picnic table to put it in between us. He stalked me into what was left of his face, grinning at the prospect of cutting me up. He didn't seem all that broken up about Nicholas lying on the deck. Though the kids were hysterical, there were screams and cries as a bunch of them ran forward and surrounded the body of their precious St. Nicholas. Steel ringing on Richard and Axeman, winding up like bulls, growled off the same cow. Richard, you want to stop messing around with that wagon and help me out here? A gross chuckle bubbled out of what passed for a mouth on my guy. Apparently, he still had enough throat left to make with the talking. Sir Gunther and Lionheart of history, you will not get any help here, non-believer. Gunther and I, Sir Berlin, are faithful servants of the Lord God, and will bathe these lands in the blood of the wicked. When the new world is ours, Nicholas promises we will again retake the Holy Land, where we may at last lay down our burdens and gain our final reward. We continued our dance around the table, mostly because I didn't have a better idea. Suddenly, the kids around Nicholas's body gasped and then cheered. Slowly, he stood up, and even though I broke in whatever spell he had on me at first, he still didn't look too bad for a corpse. In fact, I wonder if I seen what I thought. Berlin took very clear advantage of my destruction, leaping up onto the table and charging at me. Years of fighting of Pelucas, I managed to hack off one bar or another paid off, though, as I grabbed the edge of the table and flipped it. Berlin simply didn't get how unsteady picnic tables are, and he paid for it by flying and landing hard. His sword clattered out of his hand and landed near me. The pistol was a few feet further away. Let's go for the gun. I'm no hero in Knight's Tale. I'm no swashbuckling pirate. I left the sword on the deck and scrambled for the Colt. Though he looked like a walking corpse, apparently whatever it's Baron. I didn't say Berlin. Whoops. Baron was still needed to breathe because he was struggling like a man who had the wind knocked out of him. That gave him just enough time to reach the Colt, take aim, and put one right through his chest. Blam! He gazed down at the hole, more surprised than hurt, and then looked at me with a kind of curiosity. Why do I hear angels? Then he toppled over and stopped moving. I looked over to see Richard and Gunther still going at it, yelling at each other in German. From what I could tell, they really seemed to hate each other, and it was clear Nicholas was my problem for the moment. Except that he decided he was going to be no one's problem as he staggered for the door while the other kids at place all started screaming and crying as though waking up from nightmares, which made a certain amount of sense, really. This is far from over. North, I will go north where they have cities every bit as corrupt that shall start again. Yeah, that seemed like a bad idea. Unfortunately, Burren was moving again, slowly, sure, but damn, if he wasn't starting to stick back together. Let's leave him there, Richard, and go after the other guy. And more important thing is to sit around shooting bodies that kept popping up on their own accord. I ducked out the door and followed the trail of the black and blood that Nicholas was leaving wherever he went. Richard's blessed pistol had it killed him, but sure left a mark. And then way up some stairs into some kind of white and hollow room where there were a bunch of bodies. No, not bodies in the dead sense. One was groaning, others were clearly breathing. Richard must have been through here, taking them all down, not normally the way we agreed to. The trail led on through a door on the opposite side, so I rushed through it, Baron's sword still in my hand. I ran down, much thinner, Hong jumped over what I thought was another unconscious man, but he reached up and tugged at my slacks. Just as I cleared over him, I nearly plugged 2 shots into that man, but held up. Hey, easy go, I just want to know what I'm doing here. Where are we? Hell, buddy, I'm not even sure anymore. Go into that room and wait, though. That's likely your safest bet. I continued down the hall in front of the set of stairs going up. I figured we were getting close to the top deck now, and I was in a hurry to catch this nightmare thing before he got loose in my city. The door was about a sudden chill in my spine and slowed me up for the last moment. Um, uh, Guns blazing, full steam ahead. I raised the calm finger on the trigger as I ran for the door. The first I saw was going to eat hot lead. Sklink. A heavy sword slid to the door frame behind me. Thankfully, it missed me somehow. Or maybe it hadn't. The deck rushed up to meet me, and that thing spun around in circles. A spray of blood erupted near the doorway as I watched my body collapse forward. The cult was still in my head, but I no longer had control of my hand or any part of my body. A few moments later, I found myself looking into the eyes of Sir Nicholas as he held me aloft as his outstretched arm ended with a fistful of my hair. I had neither the words nor the ability to speak then. I could only look on in shock. He should have joined me in mainframe. Anyway, perhaps then he would have been seeing the promised land. Well, why does shit sand? Mr. Jenkins. With that, I saw that dick paying closer and I faded quickly as the air. With that, I saw that dick paying closer and I faded quickly away as air whistled past my ears. The ship itself came into view briefly as I spun end over end before splashing into the cold, dark harbor. This wasn't how I imagined I would end. It also occurred to me that this whole death scene I was having wasn't normal. Maybe there's someone back from this. Nah, I think this is the final tell, Detective Harvey Jenkins. Okay. Let's try this one. Dive. I slid out the door and I crouched, brains went over brawn every time. Nicholas huge blade said right to the door frame where my head would have been. I ducked and rolled. And aimed the revolver into him as I came into the crouch again. Nicholas stumbled backward again and collapsed on the deck. That was a very sporting of you, Nicholas. I said that in spite of the irony. I just used the gun to shoot some guy with a sword. I walked over to Nicholas and looked down at him. He was in bad shape. The problem was that he didn't appear to be dead or any more dead than he normally was. Schluck. Blood sprayed out across Nicholas's face. It was red this time instead of black. It took me a moment or two to realize that it was mine. They're fighting them at our sword to the chest. Okay. Am I dead? Wait. Okay, sorry guys, I was keeping on that because I thought I was going to die here, but maybe not. I watched the horse Nicholas pull himself up to the floor and look down at me. You should have joined me, my friend. Oh, okay, he's saying the same thing. Okay, let's try the trap this time. I slowed up and raised the gun towards the opening, and you wouldn't be thinking about attacking me as I came out, would you, Nicholas? No response. I couldn't exactly wait here forever, but I'll be damned before I walk out and get my head chopped off. A noise behind me caught my attention. I turned back to see Sir Baron sneaking along the corridor, sword in hand. Thankfully, he wasn't stealthy enough to get the drop on me, and I emptied the cult remaining in right arms into him. He jumped once again. Son of a bitch, so I think I stayed down. Blood splashed across the corridor wall. It took me a moment to realize it was on my own. Okay, I gotta pick another one. Okay, let's chop off his head. Sir Baron was starting to stitch himself back together. Again, I couldn't have him becoming an issue again, so I did what any sane rational man might do under such completely irrational circumstances. Picked up his sword, cut his damn head off. Before I even hit the ground, the skull went pretty much to dust. Before bone fragments, body just slumped over. Worked better than I imagined. Okay, let's go after, let's help Richard with Gunter now. Didn't think much about what I did next, really. Maybe I was still hazy from the success of cutting an inch or running Crusader's head off. I charged that Gunter with Baron's blade, hoping that his battle with Richard would keep him distracted enough to give me at least a shot. At the last moment, however, it was Richard that moved into the way and deflected my blow, screaming, "No, do not interfere, Jenkins." What may have been almost the same moment that this entire mess, all three of us just stopped, including Gunter. He was breathing heavily as Richard. He was still at a world of hate in his eyes, but he wasn't attacking. Even though Richard had back to him at the moment. I just gaped at them both. I did not expect you to understand Harvey, and I had little time to explain. You have to go after Nicholas and try to stop him from getting away. On the other hand, we must stay together and fight. On the other hand, we must stay and fight Gunter until one of us is defeated. He claimed the right of trial by combat, and he is once but on my night side. Really then saying, I could help it. Of all things, just following me got my dander up. You're playing nasty castles with this guy. Well, we got a potential mass murderer on the belt to get loose. His eyes narrowed, his jaw set and his shoulders straightened. I didn't expect you to understand. You have a code of your own. However, Mr. Jenkins, I respect it as I usually expect you to respect mine. Just hurry up, will you? I don't know how long Kate Nicholas playing tiddlywinks while you're two dancing down here. Leaving this mess behind, I darted for the door. I ducked up the door. Okay, yeah, this is the same thing as before. Okay, let's try this one this time since we don't got nobody sneaking up on us. I slowed up and raised my sword defensively. You wouldn't be thinking about attacking me as I came on, would you, Nicholas? No response. I had to risk it. I stepped through the doorway, caught sight of Nicholas' been swinging. I sort of half-parried, ducked on Nicholas' huge body, suddenly ran into my door frame. He pressed the attack quickly. I had to scramble backwards. I got my feet under me. I will not be denied my destiny again, you worm. These eyes will bathe the blood of all who did not follow me, and when the rest are under my banner with the children I lead, I shall march to the gates of Jerusalem, and I shall rule the world. He swung wildly, angrily, and I managed to keep bearing his sword in front of me in the way of his blade. For all that, he looked impressive, wore fancy armor, and he just seemed all skilled with the blade. Why would he be? He could think of it. He is a shepherd's son. A shepherd himself. His entire children's crusade was just about marching a bunch of non-combatants into the Holy Land and letting God take care of the rest. He was a skilled, but he was strong and was fast. I was already pretty beat up and tired. I had to find a way to finish this one fast. They say whatever a successful PI is, at least quarter a psychologist. I say whatever works. Hey, Nick, you got it all wrong. We don't have to fight. I could help you reach the promised land. Stood as the lost boy with the delusional hopes appeared in his eye just for a moment. Help me. You could help me find my rest. He was frozen still in that moment, looking at me, pleading, so I did looking naturally. I cut his damn head off. I think it was starting to become a habit. Well, that was easy. Head and body hit the deck, though there was the whole dust thing that was barren. That worried me. What worried me more is the body started moving just a few seconds after. There I was, arms trembling, legs all wobbly, wondering how much energy I had left to even stand. And the body was starting to crawl for the head. The eyes on the head opened, Nicholas started talking, and I was ready to just dive overboard and find another city to live in. There was a naughty trick he played Harvey. Now I'm going to have to show you what happens to those who get in the way of my holy destiny. And then there was arrows, crossbows, to be more precise. They had them sent to the body, pinning it into the ship's deck, and Nicholas' head started screaming. One of the three shooters walked over, picked up Nicholas' giant two-handed blade, and gave her another quirky smile. The trick, Mr. Jenkins, has used the blade of the creature on itself. Nicholas' head was a real pennant now. His body seemed it was just mostly just a pain as it writhed around on the deck of the ship, unable to break free of the bolts. You cannot do this. You are the one of the church. The Pope welcomed us, give us shelter. You know, sort of divine mission. He was just so well. This sounded not like someone cutting an apple in half. One of the sons of James destroyed Nicholas the Bitters. Sorry, guys. One of the sons of James destroyed Nicholas the Bitter's head with his own blade, while the two companions looked under with their crossbows already reloaded. A man in ornate church robes as well further back and still remaining the shuttle smilingly went on. For evidence you see of a particular type they bound with the weapon they died holding, and it is the only thing that can actually kill them. I looked at Baron and saw that explained a lot actually. Unfortunately, he was also hit Richard was in a lot of trouble unless he knew the trick. Of course, with these guys on board, he was in a lot of trouble anyway. I turned to face the door I came out of, hoping I would be able to make it before they shot me with those crossbows when out stumbled Richard with the sword in one hand and Gunther's axe in the other. He figured out the trick. Let him go with him. Sorry, I spoiled your phone, Nicholas, Richard, but you were a bit busy. He grinned somewhat at that and stared at the demolished head. All is well, Harvey. What needed to be done is done all around. Gunther once followed me. You see, he felt my rejection of our crusade. In my later years, with a dread and some betrayal to all those who had followed me. In a sense, he was correct. Only by our duel was the matter to be satisfied. He looked down at the deck and sighed heavily. He is satisfied now. Fancy Rope spoke up. Richard Cord, a line hereby mandated by the order of the sons of St. James, administrators of his Holy Inquisition, to surrender yourself. You will be bound and delivered to the Holy See, where you will be examined, exercised, and be put to death as deemed necessary by church proclamation. May God have mercy on your soul. Richard didn't even look up. He let Gunther's axe up to the deck, then went to see the sword. He just going to give up and go with it. No more fighting, no more death and blood. Richard, are you sure about this? All I am sure, friend Harvey, is that there is no more fight left on me tonight. If God wishes me to find atonement at the hands of the special inquisitors, whatever, perhaps it is my final path to peace after all. I didn't know what to say or what to do. This was all above my head, and I didn't think it was my place to tell a man how to walk the road with the snaker. Apparently others thought it was their place to tell us. Dozens of more people suddenly started coming out onto the deck, flowing in from both gangways on either side of the freighter. Some wore priest colors, and some wore arm yokes, all of them shotguns or clubs, some other form of personal destruction. Richard lowering hers, you may think your fight is over, but mine's just beginning. Rabbi Saul had a handful of his folks over at hand coming to stand around me, Richard. Meanwhile, Bishop Brian McLaurin and a bunch of his folks moved to stand between fancy robes. The two guys with crossbows and us. McLaurin packed in Cardinal Vernon Arona. I would be most grateful if you and your men would withdraw and return to the Vatican at your earliest convenience. I determine your next present a significant risk of the safety and spiritual well-being of my diocese, and I am exercising my rights and obligations as head of this district of our holy church. Smiley looked at me strangely, and his grin returned. He gave me the rarest of nods. They spared wrong for Richard as he lowered the huge blade and stepped slowly away. The cardinal stiffened quite a bit, for the first time clearly unnerved and revealing he didn't have total control of the situation. Bishop McLaurin, you will be stripped of your rank, your rights, and your place in the church. You face excommunication, at the very least, for this effort. So was it done for that night, apparently. I don't think so, Cardinal. Let's see if the new world we live in with the radios, telephones, and telegraphs, and all people can talk long distances pretty quickly these days. And me and we got friends everywhere. Now everyone hates Jews, you know, and there's some even your friends who do business with us. Big business. With banks and real estate and everything, secret cabals of holy assassins ain't good for business, especially when they become not so secret. Suddenly there was a distinctive pop, and blinding staccato, and flashes as cameras went off from numerous angles. Saul and Brian had brought photographers. The cardinal and his men all had looks of utter panic on their faces, well, all except Smiley. He had that serene look of a man who realized if things had just changed and might as well accept it. You need to take one little bit of action against my colleague Brian Bishop McLaurin, or against Mr. Jenkins here. And every newspaper from here through Europe gets one hell of a story, complete with pictures. I got on a good authority that the boys at the Vatican wouldn't think us too keen an idea. I noticed Saul didn't have a weapon in hand, though all those around him did, like father, like son. Back out west, Saul sat down heavy at a usual table on Murphy's 2 glasses and a fresh bottle of 4 roses in hand. He started pouring, and I just kept listening. He headed back out west, put him on the train myself. I think he's headed to Utah. Look at some real strangers out there. Makes sense. Look, a lot of strange stuff happens in Utah. We both laughed with that. They sipped our drinks in companionable silence. He went on. That woman you killed, turns out she was some kind of powerful witch from somewhere deep in the Alps. We've been looking through a bunch of stuff on the ship since the cops are trying to wrap their heads around what really happened. Don't mind our help figuring it all out. Naturally, we don't have to tell them too much about the spooky stuff. Just painted as a slavery thing with cultist trappings. I nodded. It makes sense. Yeah, Brian came up with that one. Actually, anyway, Shane or Coven found Nicholas, raised him up, found some old crusaders to raise up as revenants, and set him out in this business. She came along, apparently gathering all kinds of power from whatever he was doing. He has some kind of special way about him. Even in life, a lot of people got to see him as he wanted. They just wanted to follow him just because. I'm not even remembering what happened. I mean, when we faced off, I absently fingered the bulge of the amulet through my shirt and saw kindly, pretending not to notice. I got a little Kabbalah training that kind of most Jews don't like to talk about much, and I was able to figure some stuff out from her notes. I don't know what the deal was with that pistol you were using hard, but it was a good thing you had it. She had some magic going that made her damn near impossible to hurt. Somewhere back in my office, locked away in a safe, Mama Bonte knew about, like a particular gift Richard left with me against the day I might need it again. Saul shifted gears to a topic that made him a little uncomfortable. I got worried about you and him all alone out there on the boat and not knowing what else was going on, Harv. After I broke down and talked to Brian something, I should have down there. I should have done right from the start and deal with the pride, live and learn. I knew for sure you were in maybe bigger trouble than you could handle, and it would all be my fault. Can't say as I didn't appreciate you and the good Bishop bringing in the cavalry, so I didn't have to go out to that boat. That was on me. He set his glass down and looked at me dead in the eye, a hard look. Yes, Harv, you did have to go out there a moment. You figured that the kids are on the boat. You had to go, same as me, really. You couldn't act like you just get by and do things for money. You could sell that to the yokels, but don't try and calm me. You got a good heart, Harvey Jenkins. Probably the only reason you're still breathing. To be honest, even half the stories about you are true. I looked at him and he had the face of a man who needed something to believe in. I was pretty certain it shouldn't be me, but I wasn't going to bust a bubble for him just now. Besides, maybe there was something to it after all. I've done some pretty stupid things in my time, but for nowhere near enough money. I took another long sip, set down my glass, and pointed my finger just an inch away from his nose. Believe what you want, Rabbi. Don't go spreading that around. I got a reputation to maintain. Too many people here. I got good soft spots. I'll never get a day off. I stared a little wide-eyed at my gnarled finger. They slapped it away and started laughing. The buglers are playing at the home tomorrow, and I got 2 tickets in. If you want to check out the role-playing game, okay, so it's same as last time. It is over. Okay, there's actually There's no more. There's only 2 episodes in this game. They never made a episode 3. There's just 2 episodes. So, yeah. Thanks for watching this series, guys. I'll see y'all later.